Hey guys, it's your girl T. So I want to come on here and talk about the whole Justin Bieber situation. A few of his believers hit me up on Instagram and they wanted my opinion on Justin Bieber because a lot of his believers are really upset with him. And I'm surprised that y'all even fuck with me, honey, because y'all cussed me out a few years ago. So anyways, you guys, what's going down is that back in March, Justin Bieber had announced to his believers that he was not going to do any more meet and greets after his shows because he felt like it left him, just emotionally drained, tired, depressed. It just took too much energy, okay? So a lot of his fans were really upset. They were really disappointed. And this was like back in March when he initially announced that. Well, as of yesterday, he took to Instagram to let folks know that he will no longer be taking any pictures with any of his fans. He said basically he's over it. It's just too much. He can't walk through a group of people without every single person wanting a picture. He just feels like it's just a bit much. He feels like basically his only job is to make good albums, release them to the public, and that's it. And he doesn't owe the public anything outside of that. So while a lot of his believers, agreed and they understood where he was coming from, a lot of them were really upset. And he even posted one of his believers' comments, on Instagram. Go ahead and check this out real quick.
But we found out the reason why Justin decided to make a statement now. JB was actually hanging out at Lucky Strike Bowling Alley, one of my favorite places. He was actually in Boston when he was approached by a family eager for pics with the Biebs. But a rep for Lucky Strike tells us that the fans implied they deserve to pic with the Biebs because they bought his album. Well, regardless, Justin is standing by his statement.
All right, so you guys just saw what he had posted. So a lot of them are really upset. So on top of Justin Bieber, basically saying that he's not going to take any more pictures with fans, T.I. also decided to chime in, and basically T.I. agreed with him, and he says that he feels the same way as well, that it's just becoming way too much, especially with these cell phone cameras. So go ahead and check out what T.I. had to say on Instagram. All right, so you guys just saw what T.I. had to say and what Justin Bieber had to say. So, I'm very mixed on this. I am torn on this. I do see both parts. We live in a society now where everybody has a camera phone. Everybody has a camera on them. From the smallest child to the oldest adult, anybody can whip out a phone and take a selfie, okay? Whereas back when we were growing up, back in the 90s, back in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, there were no camera phones. You had to either have a disposable camera or a regular camera, and a lot of folks even back then couldn't even afford a camera. So when you met somebody, to even prove that you even met them, you would just ask for an autograph, okay? And that was it, and then you held on to your memories. But nowadays, people are so thirsty for fame and want to look cool and look who I ran into, me and this person, me and that person. I can see how it can be very tiring. I really can, because it's not like you're taking a photo with maybe 20 fans. Literally there's 200 people, and every last one of those people have a camera phone, and every person wants a picture with just you and them. They don't want a group picture. They don't want to share you. They want it with you and them. So I can see where it can be very trying for a lot of these celebrities. And in the same breath, part of me also feels like a lot of these celebrities nowadays are spoiled and they take things for granted, okay? Michael Jackson was one of the biggest pop stars in the world. And you never heard him one time complain, cry, rant about his fans. This was a man who would get on stage and his fans would go crazy when they saw Michael Jackson. Pull on him, cry, faint, everything else. And Michael never had a harsh word to say. You never saw Michael Jackson kicking a fan, going off on a fan, calling them out, cussing them out. And I feel like a lot of these celebrities nowadays are spoiled brats. And they don't understand how much of a blessing it is to be where they're at today in society, to be able to get paid to do what you love, sleep in as late as you want. If you want to take a break for the next 6 months and not do anything but vacation and have fun with your family, you can do that. Whereas the regular person is working a 9 to 5 to try and make ends meet. So I feel like a lot of them are not appreciating that, where a lot of these old school artists, they would literally stay there until the very last person got their autograph.
Prince, famous for his movie Purple Rain, will be in Sheridan to escort Lisa Barber to a premiere showing of his latest movie.
This is going out to you, Lisa. This is Prince.
What are your first impressions of Sheridan, Wyoming?
Purple. This is really nice.
Could you have picked a better place?
Huh?
Could you have imagined it?
Good. Excuse me.
Meanwhile, in downtown Sheridan, Prince's makeup and wardrobe people were busy turning Lisa Barber into a princess. Finally, Lisa's dream date became a reality as the princely parade picked her up and took her down Main Street for the celebrity-studded world premiere of Under the Cherry Moon.
I'm glad I'm here. I never met such nice people in my life.
Who brought all the horses?
Come again?
Who brought all those horses?
I brought the horses. See, I'll have all the money now.
So like I said, I see both parts, but I also feel like a lot of these celebrities are getting lazier. But then the third thing I want to say is I also have to blame some of these fans. A lot of these fans are also rabid. A lot of y'all don't know how to act, okay? A lot of y'all see a celebrity and y'all go gaga, ape shit, crazy, and it's not that serious. I feel like you have to really gauge the situation when it comes to taking a picture. I've met tons of celebrities out here in LA. I've chopped it up with them. One night I was hanging out at the W with Brandy and Ray J, you know what I'm saying? And we sat and we chopped it up for like 20 minutes. Me and Brandy had a really dope conversation. She gave me a big hug. I told her she was an inspiration to me and millions of black girls. One of the few dark-skinned women that I saw on television grow up, and thank you for being a positive role model. Thank you for shaping my life. Thank you for making it okay to wear braids and to be yourself. You know, and she looked like she wanted to cry because she said nobody had ever told her thank you for stuff like that. You know, it's always superficial things. And she was like, thank you. You know, she was like bowing and everything. She was like, no, thank you so much. And, you know, thank you for telling me that. That just made me so happy. And, you know, when I told people that I met Brandy and Ray J, a lot of people didn't believe me. And why didn't they believe me? Because I didn't take a picture. And the sad thing is, in this day and age, unless you have a picture or video, people act like the shit didn't happen. And my thing is this, you think I give two shits if you don't believe that I met Brandy and Ray J? Bitch, these are my memories. You know what I'm saying? This is for me to hold in my heart, okay? I met them and hung with them and chopped it up with them, and I don't have to prove that to anybody. The thing is, too many people out here need validation. They feel like they have to take a picture, they have to record this, they have to show people that they're cool, and they're hanging with this person, and they rub shoulders with that person. At the end of the day, Brandy and Ray J ain't cutting me no check. They're not paying my bills, so I don't need to hound them to take a picture, do anything. All I have to do is go up and talk to them and just be respectful. I feel like certain situations just garner certain things. I met Seal and I got a chance to chop it up with him. He thought I was a singer for some strange reason, honey. He was like, do you sing? I was like, no, but I wish I did, boo. I was like, I'm a YouTuber, I do not sing. And he thought that was like really fascinating. He was asking me, you know, how it is to be a YouTuber. And, you know, he was just really down to earth. And after that conversation, you know, it was just us. It wasn't a whole bunch of people around. We got a picture taken together, you know, so that was really cool. So I just feel like you have to really gauge the situation. Just like when I worked on the set of Straight Outta Compton, there were so many celebrities I met. You know, I met Dub C and Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and, you know, DJ Yella and all the guys who played the characters. But I didn't take pictures because I'm not a groupie. It's not that serious to me. At the end of the day, these are my memories and I don't have to prove them to anybody else. You know, I know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I know how it was when I met these particular people, and that's it. And I just think like a lot of these fans, they're just so thirsty for attention, likes, hearts, and validation from other people. That's why they harass these celebrities as hard as they do, because they feel like they get a picture with this person or with that person, somehow it's going to elevate their status, and it's not going to do shit for you, honey. You might get a like, you might even get somebody throwing some shade and hating on you because you got a chance to meet Justin Bieber, but at the end of the day, honey, you're not going to get no check. Instagram is not going to send you a check. Twitter is not going to send you a check. Facebook is not going to send you a check. No one is going to pay you just because you met Justin Bieber and you took a picture with him. So I feel like people need to really be respectful of celebrities because they are human beings, and realize, you know, there's a time and place for everything. And if they look annoyed, if they look tired, that might not be the best time to ask them for a picture. You know, but like I said, again, it's a two-way street. And while I do believe that some of these celebrities have gotten lazier, they've gotten complacent, and they just expect to have the money and the fame, but then not really do the work and interact with the fans. Just like when Chris Brown cussed out his own fans and told them to take their broke asses to Target. And it's like, how dare you even talk about your fans being broke when these same people put money in your pocket to get you to where you're at today?
Some of these so-called fans is complaining about $70 shirts, $90 shirts. What the fuck you be talking about when you say you buy 10, 15 albums? How much is that, bitch? How? How I'm gonna stop being fly? How? How?
That's why I can't stand for a lot of these celebrities, because a lot of them are not humble, they're not down to earth, they're extremely arrogant, and it's just really, really sad. So I can see where Justin Bieber is coming from, but he also needs to remember that Michael Jackson was tired, Prince was tired, Whitney Houston was tired. A lot of these big name celebrities were also tired, but they kept it classy and they showed their fans love, point blank. So anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation. Once again, concerning Justin Bieber and even T.I. What do you guys feel about Justin Bieber now deciding to not take any more pictures with his fans, and also T.I. agreeing with him and saying that he's not going to take any more pictures with his fans either? Do you feel like these celebrities are getting too comfortable and that's not okay because the fans support them? Or do you feel like these fans are crazy and you understand why these celebrities sometimes do not want to be bothered with these fans? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.